I see. Well, this is most unexpected. You beat me to it, didn't you?
Not bad. But this is going to cost you! Yeah!
Let the show begin.
You got to the Gnosis ahead of me, didn't you? Did you simply move faster? Or did you leak the information regarding the Golden House to me on purpose? No matter. Hand the Gnosis over, now. Don't make me take it from you.
We didn't take it!
Freeze! Dodge this! This moment will be frozen in time. Terra Smash! Cool it!
I must leave no stone unturned.
Die here. Terra Smash! Dodge this! Terra Smash!
Some you win, and some you lose.
Look! Childe's back to normal again!
Well then, time to cool off. It seems the burden of the foul legacy transformation was too great for my body. I lacked the opportunity to think this through. And now that I consider the matter more carefully, you never had any chance of beating me to the Gnosis. You had no connection to the Gnosis, no matter where it had been taken.
That's what we've been trying to tell you! We didn't take it!
Your show of ability today far surpasses that of Signora's initial assessment of you in Mondstadt. You already know the answer, don't you? I can see it in your eyes. But if that is a secret you wish to keep, I guess I'll just have to curb my curiosity. This battle has already left me satisfied. Anyone who strives as I do to grow stronger shall be called a friend, even if our friendship can only be shown in battle against one another.
Pretty sure that's not the normal way to make friends.
Unfortunately, I must bring this amiable conversation to an end. My quest still beckons. Given that the Gnosis wasn't taken by anyone, then we must look once again to the beginning. Perhaps it was never... In fact, it might be that the
What? So you mean that...
Yes, it appears so. Interesting to say the least. It seems that the guardian deity of the capital of commerce is also well versed in little maneuvers beyond the boundaries of contracts. As such, we must now look to our
backup plan?
I had hoped it would never come to this, for the weak will be swept away in the process. The truth is, the world belongs to those who... Unfortunately, We cannot be picky about our methods as Fatui Harbingers. Children must all learn to eat their vegetables sometime.
So what are you planning to do?
I will awaken the god that lies dormant beneath Guyan's stone.
A god?
Osial, overlord of the Vortex, who was defeated by Morax, the Geo-Archon in the Archon War, and who has remained pinned beneath the waves by the Geo-Archon's stone spears ever. If such an ancient god were to be unleashed upon Liyue Harbor, defenseless without the protection of... Do you think the cunning Rex Lapis would just stand aloof and watch the ensuing destruction?
But the Archon War ended 2,000 years ago.
Simple. I've already prepared the means to awaken it.
Hey, those are sigils of permission! Oh, Paimon remembers now. The Fatui have been researching them.
Indeed. The one that was given to you was just a byproduct of our research. With the power of so many sigils of permission concentrated in one place, along with that which was bestowed upon me as a harbinger by our Tsaritsa, breaking the subduing might of the Geo-Archon spears for a time should be no obstacle. Using the powers of ancient gods in such a situation fails to interest me, and is largely against my... But knowing that such an action will not only force the Geo-Archon to show its hand, but you as well... Let's see. Will the nation that has lost its deity be swallowed up by an ancient malice once more? If you wish to drown together with the people of Liyue, you're free to stay and enjoy the show.
Huh? He's already gone. That guy is fast. What's going on? To see the Jade Chamber flying over just as we came out of the Golden House. Did we make it in time? Is the
What are you?
Huh? Hold on. It's the Adepti. What are you doing on the Jade Chamber? Paimon...
Faced with a calamity of such magnitude.
Oh, Paimon gets it. So, just seeing this Overlord of the Vortex...
It's not just you. We've got new... Which is why we must stop that monster before...
So the Archon War was fought 2,000 years ago. So will the power of the Chising, Millelith...
We've already discussed this together, and our...
What? But all of you are supposed to be...
One certainly could.
Huh?
The Chising did once research the matter of the Guizhong Ballista when it piqued their fancy. And as fate would have it, one who did craft the Guizhong Ballista with one's own hand. For what could you mortals ever learn of Adepti mechanisms? Yet, it would take...
I suppose this is one blessing. So be it. We shall use the upgraded... We haven't a moment to spare. Yep.
The 3 Adepti are manning the Guizhong Ballista. Do not let the Fatui disturb their work!
All able Millilith, with me!
Let's go help too!
We Adepti have not faced a god in several millennia. Let one see what you're made of then. What strength remains within you, one wishes to witness.
Looks like I went too far. Fulfill my duty.
Yeah.
This should be fun.
To dust!
As a dutiful maid would.
It isn't time for a break yet.
Freeze! Terra Smash!
That is Osial's divine power. I am very familiar with it. Be careful not to get hit.
The Fatui! Their attacks are unrelenting!
How daring. Snezhnai's diplomats will answer for this afterward. Every last one.
The ancient gods attacking again! There are so many Fatui too! We can't look!
Were you about to say we can't hold them, children?
Huh?
Don't lose heart. Here, take this.
This is adeptal energy! That light from your body, it's like the time in giant cars! Whoa! It's Madam Ping's shockwave! This granny's really strong!
Cold cut blood! Disgusting. It isn't time for a break yet!
Dust! Yeah!
My duty.
Yeah!
I guess this is it. This isn't good.
With the blood of the Chilean, I guard you against evil! Cast your fear of injury by the wayside, and fight with all your might! I too did this during the Archon War!
So this is what Ganyu's like in a fight!
My name means swiftness. Take my power and run as I do.
We're going too fast!
Child, you are strong in body and spirit. Perhaps you can withstand 3 forms of adeptal energy at once.
This will hurt a little. Please bear with us.
Once you've adapted, try to use them in battle.
Terra Smash!
I guess this is it. This isn't good.
cold cut.
Quick!
Exercise caution! I fear that the god's power has reached its peak!
In other words, if we hold here, there's nothing worse to come, right? Just...
I miscalculated. I will end you.
Over here!
This isn't good.
The Fatui's numbers are thinning!
Fight on, comrade!
According to Kutch... Excuse me...
Yes. How many would you like?
It's not convenient to speak of numbers here.
Ah, well said. Please.
Yep.
And yet the code they used...
If we hadn't happened this... Do we...
What are you?
Huh? Hold on. It's the...
Faced with the calamity.
Oh, Paimon gets it. Just...
It's not just you. We've got new Millilith recruits who can't even stand at attention without which is why we must...
So the Archon work... So will the power of the...
We've already discussed this.
What?
One certainly could.
Huh?
The Chi Sing did what, and as fate would have it, for what could you more?
So be it. We haven't a moment to spare. Yep.
3 Adepti are manning the Guizhong Ballista. Do not let the Fatui disturb their work.
All able Millilith, with me!
Let's go help too!
We Adepti have not faced a god in several millennia. Let one see what you're made of then. What strength remains within you? One wishes to witness.
Terra Smash!
Freeze! Can't run! Well, either try.
That is Osial's divine power. I am very familiar with it. Be careful not to get hit.
Steady, go!
The Fatui! Their attacks are unrelenting!
How daring. Snezhnai's diplomats will answer for this afterward. Every last one.
Oh, so sorry.
The ancient god's attacking again! There are so many Fatui too! We can't look!
Were you about to say we can't hold them, children?
Huh?
Don't lose heart. Here, take this.
This is adeptal energy! That light from your body, it's like the time in Julian Cars! Wow, it's a Madame Ping shockwave! This granny's really strong!
My duty. You're not going anywhere.
To dust!
My work is done.
With the blood of the Chilian, I guard you against evil! Cast your fear of injury by the wayside, and fight with all your might! I too did this during the Archon War!
So this is what Ganyu's like in a fight!
My name means swiftness. Take my power and run as I do.
We're going too fast!
Child, you are strong in body and spirit. Perhaps you can withstand 3 forms of adeptal energy at once.
This will hurt a little. Please bear with us.
Once you've adapted, try to use them in battle.
Not breaking a sweat. My work finished. Now you're not going anywhere.
Look at me.
To dust!
exercise caution. I fear that the god's power has reached its peak.
In other words, if we hold here, there's nothing worse to come, right?
Dodge this!
Look at me.
The Fatui's numbers are thinning!
Fight on, comrades! Once we finish this lot off, the Adepti will be able to deal with the god in peace!
The interlopers are no more. Now we may commit ourselves fully.
It's working! We just need to keep this up!
Be careful now.
The Guizhong Ballista is destroyed. Without its covering fire, retaliation shall be difficult.
But the Jade Chamber is our last line of defense. We can't give another inch, no matter what.
I have another idea.
What do you mean, Lady Ningguang?
I'll sacrifice the Jade Chamber.
What is the meaning of this?
I understand.
Traveler, lend me a hand. Farewell, old friend. Goodbye for now. Let us meet again in the future.
Is it...
The ominous aura of that monster. The effects of the Sigil of Permission last but a short time. It will be some time before the Overlord of...
We are indebted to you for your assistance. If the Adepti hadn't happened to be...
Save your flattery. We didn't just happen.
Come now. There's no need for such harsh words, Cloud Retainer. I've heard that when Ningguang began learning to do business, she had already started setting aside part of her. At first, it was only the size of a It is a testament to Ningguang's entire life, both as a business. Seeing the Jade Chamber destroyed in the defense of Liyue means much to her. To me, such cooperation and sacrifice...
Well, I was really hoping you would say that such sacrifice could at least be used as some leverage in our Thank you all for hearing me out. We know very well...
Oh?
3,700 years. Even to this very day, Liyue and its lands have stood the test of time. But that does not mean that the Liyue of today... Do not merely cast your protective gaze...
Are you questioning our means?
I mean no offense. I simply hope that our Adepti forebear...
Forebears, you say?
This morning, Rex...
What?
In the dream, I yearned to tell him that Wei Qixing, though mortal, I also thought to tell him, but I dared not speak.
Oh, Ningguang.
Yet another perspective. What do you...
Right! That's something that happened in Mondstadt. It's a story about the Animal Archon sought to quell the strife between the two sides, because he believed...
Each of the 7 nations has its own scars from the past.
Though your point is the very height of simplicity. As Adepti, we've become a laughingstock, to be chastised thus by an outlander who has lent us such succor.
All right, all right. Didn't Ningguang suggest that...
I apologize for appearing in full armor. I am afraid I cannot show the proper courtesies.
And who are you?
I am Feng Yan, a sergeant of the Millelith. I thought this battle would perhaps be my last. But thanks to the aid... Although I am a mere mortal...
Huh? Why does everyone look...
Weren't you frightened?
I wasn't afraid. All the strong Millelith guards were there, and those powerful heroes with their visions. When danger is near, everyone always protects me. And the rest of the time, thanks for protecting me.
Unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to participate.
Huh?
Because we are Adepti.
Oh, okay. Oh.
You see, this is what the country of contracts is grateful to the Adepti for their protection. Although their blood is weak, there is still strength to be found in those we call mortals. The time of contracts between gods and
Seeing the port around us now, it is hard not to feel a bit out of place. Wouldn't you?
Your line of inquiry is askew. One did not spearhead this expedition to Liyue Harbor.
Seems like the Adepti have had a change of heart.
Let us return now.
Eager to leave, conqueror of demons.
Yes, one understands what the Conqueror of Demons means. The city of one fears that by the time one finally grasps the new contracts of Liyue, you humans would have once again changed the place beyond recognition. Fair enough. Away we shall, and return whence we came.
Since we Adepti have consensus, but how will we ensure that the Liyue Qixing will not simply exploit their power once we depart?
All right, Mooncarver, you needn't worry. It seems to me that this right of supervision is best left to the people of Liyue.
Looks like the conflict between humans and Adepti was avoided. All's well that ends well, huh? Oh, right! It's nice that we've got... Childe wanted to unleash the god, so he could lure Rex Lapis out. But we were able to handle the Overlord of the... Oh, and speaking of that, don't we still need to get to the bottom of that Archon's death, too? Hyman doesn't get it. But isn't the strongest lead we have the Adepti-less rite of parting that we're organizing? No, no idea where Zhongli's gone. Let's ask for him at Wangshem Funeral Parlor.
Is there anything I can do for you two?
We've come to see Zhongli. Could you...
Unfortunately, Zhongli isn't here at the moment.
Doesn't the Northland Bank... But last time we saw Zhongli was... Do you think he doesn't know about the attack on Liyue? We had better go and make...
Jewelry's out of stock, but we have some new items in.
You have
You call this cooperation between Harbingers? Cooperation involves communication, you know.
Don't take it to heart, child. Besides, aren't you happy that you got to skip Oh, it seems that some-
Hey, it's Zhongli and Child.
It's you two. I believe we've met once before. Ah, right. I imagine that it must have been rather hard to forget watching helplessly as something precious was snatched away from you.
No, don't let her get... You've yet to gather the powers of all 7 elements. And our last battle at the Golden House, so it might be best to keep things peaceful this time.
Well, if it isn't you two. This is our first time seeing each other since Liyue was nearly wiped off the map.
Paimon knew that we should never have tried.
Oh, now don't say that. Sure, I may have misled you, but I never had anything against you personally. Besides, I thought we were getting along quite well together, didn't you? Nothing personal. We just have different views, that's all. Of course, you may The real deceivers here are Senora and Zhongli. Curse them for leading me on. So actually,
Stop wasting time, child. There'll be plenty of time. You remember the agreement, Morax. Now, if you would be so kind. The Gnosis, please.
What in the world are you talking?
The contract is fulfilled.
How sanctimonious.
What? So, no, wait.
I do not give it for free. I give it as agreed upon in the contract.
Yeah, you don't... Wait.
Perhaps it's best, as you know. I've dwelt upon this world for more than 6,000 years. It is now 3,700 years ago that I founded Liyue, together with the Adepti. Even boulders that can withstand whirlpools will erode with the passing of time. I kept convincing myself that cracks had not begun to form, and that the end of my time had not yet come. Until one drizzly day, as I was strolling along the harbor, I heard a merchant tell one of his workers, "You've finished your duties. Go ahead and call it a day." I stood motionless among the crowds, asking myself, have I already finished my duties?
Oh, Zhongli.
But as I began to consider relinquishing my divine role, I soon discovered that many reasons still remained to not hastily depart. Was Liyue, the city I had dwelt in for so long, already prepared to enter its next age? I decided that a test was needed in order to reveal the answer. So I feigned my own death, and gathered the cast of Childe, the Adepti, and the Liyue Qixing. That's right. Which is why I continued to
So you mean that if the chaos ever reached the—
Of course. And it would have been just as a child quickly matures after losing their parents, so has Liyue matured when—
In the end, the resolution to all that has transpired. Take the Adepti, for instance. Owing to their year, credit is also due to Signora, the emissary dispatched by the Cryo-Archon to fulfill our contract. At my request, she kept everything she knew in strict confidence. This meant I could remain as Zhongli, even having the chance to fulfill the age-old traditions of Liyue in this mortal form. Thank you. All of these things turned out as I had expected them to do no more than the Adepti, to come to the defense of Liyue. But when all was said and done, they seized the opportunity to supplant Liyue's divine protectors, and used the subsequent power vacuum left by my death to quickly gain complete control of Liyue.
Huh?
On the contrary, I think it is excellent. I had always feared that it was too soon for them to take over from me. And it was also that which I longed—
Hey, what about me? Doesn't anyone feel the least bit of remorse for deceiving me? You've practically kept me in the dark.
I think that thanks would be more appropriate. You certainly played no small part in all of this, wreaking havoc and turning the city upside down. If you hadn't created the pressure of a battle between mortals, Adepti, and a god, the lump of coal resting in the hands of the Geo-Archon, Liyue would never have been able to become a dazzling diamond of a city.
Huh? Just whose side are you on, mocking me like that? Are you itching for a fight? Be that as it may, you've come out of this as the hero of Liyue. I, on the other hand...
Well then, with the Gnosis in my possession...
Fine. I'll meet you there.
Do as you wish.
Now then, is there anything else you wish to ask me?
Right! As Zhongli always told us, a good trade is a fair trade.
Realistically speaking.
Huh?
However, I am the god of contracts. For thousands of years, I have made countless My agreement with the Cryo-Archon will be the last of my contracts as the Geo-Archon. As for the bargaining chip that the Tsaritsa used to balance the scales, uncover that answer for yourself in...
Paimon can't... So Zhongli, what sort of contract did...
One of the clauses of our contract was not to divulge...
You're so Paimon can't... So Zhong...
One of the...
Terra Smash!
Today's the day of the rite of parting. Although the star of the show is fake, we've spent so much time trying to organize it, it would be a real shame not to go there now.
You know that god from the ocean couldn't have just shown up out of nowhere.
Yes, and to think that this happened right on the heels of the incident with Rex.
Say, do you think the person who assassinated our lord...
Now that you mention it, that's very possible. I mean, it all... Still, what's...
Ah, forget it.
Oh, come on. There's only one real Fatui. Shh. Lower.
Hear ye all! Though a dragon soars ageless as the mountains, it too must return to dust. This is common knowledge. Gods and Adepti live glorious lives, but both light and shadow have their season. So rumors and hearsay abound on the streets that having been thwarted in his trial, Rex Lapis's soul has recouped the celestial heights. Nor are they to believe street-born rumors or indulge in baseless speculation.
Paimon needs a translation on what the so that something feels off. Why would they suddenly... Could the Qixing or... Did Zhongli tell them in secret after his gnosis changed hands? Exactly, right? Ooh, seems like the rite of parting has been going on for a while now. Let's go have a look. Look, it's Ningguang and Keqing.
As said previously, Rex Lapis's soul returning to the heavens is the end of the contract. And it is also the end of an era.
3,700 years of contracts burnt and reduced to ash.
We, the people of Liyue, were indeed prosperous. But blinded by our prosperity, we forgot that time can be pitiless.
The long, unending dream of our Archon walking among us.
Now that we have awoken from our dream, we must learn to say farewell. Will you stand with us as we re-establish our contracts? As we build a new age of prosperity?
So concludes the words of Her Eminence the Tianquan. Does Her Eminence the Yuheng have anything to add?
Huh? Is she looking this way?
Traveler.
Yikes! She really is looking our way!
Is that the traveler who they say defeated the ancient god?
So young. The Liyue Qixing always repay their debts. And as you have heard, our eyes see far and our reach is long. Name your price. You deserve that much.
Whoa!
Well, could you help me put up some missing person posters?
And to think I'd put my best perfume on. But it seems as if those perfumes really were meant to be well, that's fine. Suffer no rivals in love, they say. And that's 3 gone in 1 stroke.
As for the mortals and adepti of Liyue, what shape shall...
Perhaps mementos for Rex Lapis might be the best short-term business opportunity.
Hey, Zhongli! Look at this! Everyone in Liyue is cut, and here you are looking all relaxed.
Why would I not feel more at ease after laying down the burden I have borne for 3,700 years? Right, if the two of you can spare the
Ha! That sounds like big talk, Zhongli. Paimon might have believed you.
You're right. I do like the Mora.
But why would Mora...
As the Rex Lapis Morax, I can easily create Mora. But since I have chosen to walk this earth as the mortal Zhongli, I should abide by the same rules that mortals do. When I was journeying with you, though I still had the Gnosis in hand, I knew that I must soon retire from my role as an Archon.
Oh, no wonder! Paimon gets it now. You didn't look at the price tag, but since you weren't used to...
Well, we were only spending Fatui money. In the City of Commerce, we do not merely exchange money or good. The Archon Morax could never experience life at... I will treasure the memories that I made as Zhongli. That is true. But there is no journey.
Paimon?
I fear that continuing your... Yes. The Electro Archon...
Paimon thinks we've heard that one before.
That is the case. And since Raiden is also the Shogun of Inazuma, people call her the Raiden Shogun.
That said, though people at the wharf were saying that the situation in Inazuma is very tense, Paimon doesn't remember that always being the case. Zhongli, since you're Rex Lapis, shouldn't you know something about what's happening there? Just how did Inazuma become a closed nation?
It's because of visions.
Visions?
When faced with circumstances beyond their control, humans often bemoan their lack of power. But if a person shows true strength of will at a desperate and fateful moment in their life, the gods will look upon them with favor. This is what visions are. Magical foci bestowed upon those who have been acknowledged by the gods.
Uh-huh. That's how people in Teyvat see it.
But starting from last year, the Raiden Shogun began promulgating the Vision
Hunt Decree?
Yes. It was an order to seize all visions within Inazuma's borders, and to inlay them upon the hands of the step.
They want to seize visions. But why?
I should think that in the Raiden Shogun's eyes, it is precisely because they are...
Whoa, that's harsh.
The Animo Archon is the god of freedom, and the Geo Archon is the god of contracts. For her part, the Raiden Shogun is the god of eternity. It seems as though she has finally decided to eliminate any unstable elements that could poke. The fact that even I, the oldest of the 7, have now passed away, will only strengthen her resolve to pursue eternity. Knowing her, she must have again quoted that adage she is most fond of when proclaiming that decree to her people. 7 ideals for 7 gods. And of these, eternity is nearest unto the heavenly principles. All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know? That was a good one. That said, the reason why the Qixing were so eager to resolve the incident and stop pursuing the culprit was indeed because they received news in secret that Rex Lapis was not dead. I hinted as much to the Adepti as well. How did I accomplish that, you ask? Have you ever heard of this particularly convenient Adepti art known as gifting dreams and visions? All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know?
Yeah, about that. Before the Qixing made their announcement, we listened to a lot of people talking on the way. Most of them put the blame for...
These are indeed false accusations. But it remains undeniably true that Childe did send people to the... I've heard that Ningguang is busy milking that for all it's worth on the foreign relations front at the moment. Ha! Those poor Snezhnayan diplomats. If it were not for Childe's exalted position as a harbinger, I'm certain that they would have shifted all the blame. All right then. Was there anything else you wished? The time of the Adepti had... Kuching is absolutely... Now, though I did laud Ningguang's desire for power, believing this to be a good thing, and thought as a matter of course, could the original person who brought up the idea of seizing power have been... All right then. Was there anything else you wished to...
That's right! Zhongli, now that you don't have your note since Morax is dead... Also, isn't the Golden House the only mint in the entire
The Mora present now will not vanish. But the Golden House will indeed have to cease operations for...
This is terrible! We're all about...
Yes, this is indeed a... Well, I suppose...
Then, did you at least set some private funds aside?
Oh, a private fund. It's a...
What's a shame?
It's a shame that I didn't think of it at... All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know? Well then, I suppose you'll have to find a way to get inside this closed nation.
While the Millelith stands guard, evil shall never prevail.
children, come, come.
Oh, what is it, Granny?
Oh, no. You've done. In fact, my old friends and I have been put.
A gift for Paimon?
Oh, child, you are so very modest. When you traversed my old teapot in search of the cleansing bell, I heard your little friend mention that you often count. That simply won't do. Especially since I imagine you still have. Fortunately, I have not yet grown so old as to see my subspace creation. Oh, did my friends never mention that to you? Well, I will not go into too much detail, but subspace, the teapot that you entered previously, was a little trinket
So, in the eyes of an Adeptus, creating...
Oh, indeed, the teapot is nothing to boast of. One such as myself must depart from this realm to create... but that's enough nostalgia for now. The gift that I have prepared...
That's right! Finding stuff's well...
Oh, settle down now, children. There's no need for you to go running. What's more, I doubt that you would... Well, for starters, I require some... You would have to dig downward, but almost no one has been able to find shimmer soil in this manner since... Even more difficult to find is smaragdus jadeite, which must be chiseled from the rock of the chasm. Or... so it used to be. In any case, smaragdus jadeite is an adepti treasure, and the adeptal power within is not something that most humans can withstand. Extended contact with it is... goodness knows if that child will succeed.
Well, since you're an Adeptus, Granny, the person...
Yes. I suppose...
She counts? How come there are so many Adepti?
Oh, maybe so. Who can say?
I'm back, Granny. Oh, I don't believe we've met.
Allow me to do the honors. This Yanfei, I believe you already heard of...
Of course, who hasn't? Much has been written about you in the Millilith's records. You became one of Liyue's most wanted after the Millilith marked you as a suspect following the incident at the Rite of Dissension. After which, you fought off the Millilith at Julian Karst and before finally defeating an ancient god together with Granny and her associates, and subsequently being cleared of any and all suspicion by the Chising. A shame that we didn't meet sooner. If we had, well, I can't say that I would have been able to clear you of suspicion immediately, but it certainly would have been less, embarrassing. Allow me to introduce myself once more. I'm Yanfei, a legal advisor. Got a legal problem? You can come right to me. Oh, yes, here's my business card. You'll find it has if you have an urgent issue, just leave me a note at the...
All right, Yanfei, all right. Let's get to the business. You'll have to excuse Yanfei. She's always been like this.
Paimon was gonna ask the same question.
An Adeptus? I guess. He mentioned that he once campaigned with Rex Lapis. They had me, and once I was all grown up, the two of them upped and left on a journey.
Well, that's a bit casual for an Adeptus. Aren't you guys supposed to sign solemn contracts?
Well, my dad did say that he'd talked it through with Rex Lapis, and that he was fine with it. Anyway, let's not dwell on that too much. So, Granny, the chasm's been sealed off, and there's just no way...
Is that so? Yanfei, are you sure you can't find some other way? They have helped Liyue greatly after...
I know, Granny, you've told me 1,000 times already.
Whoa, that's a really thick book.
Commercial consultancy. Or... Snezhnaya. Krusel. A Snezhnayan merchant. He mentioned that he was considering acquiring some smaragd. So, I guess I'll go look for him. Oh, you want to join me?
Wow, an adept. Best we be a little more careful than usual while we're with...
Hello, Mr. Crossell.
Oh, good, very good. All thanks to your advice, Miss Yan.
You're too kind. I was simply doing my job.
Well, yes, as a matter of fact, in the end I did acquire Miss Yanfei. Might I presume that you have an interest in the hairpins? I must apologize.
Wait, isn't Smaragdus jadeite really rare? Aren't you worried about the hairpins getting damaged or lost while they're being rented?
No, I'm not worried in the slightest, because I signed a contract with Ms. Zhiqiao before renting them to her. The contract makes it quite clear that if she loses or damages the... In return, I included a clause that guarantees the Smaragdus jadeite is genuine, with a penalty of 10 times the item's value payable by me to Ms. Zhiqiao in the event that it is shown to be a fake.
Guaranteed genuine, with 10 times the value payable if this claim is shown to be false.
Of course. This way, both the client and I have the assurance we need.
In that case, might you know where Miss Zhiqiao lives? We'd like to pay her a
Oh,
Thanks a lot, Mr.
Is this an answer from this world?
Oh, whatever shall I do? Yes, that's me.
How do you do, Miss Zhiqiao? We understand from Mr. My associates and I are very interested in them.
The hairpins. I don't know how it could have happened. I spent so much money on them. My family is in the orbit. We now have a big banquet. That's what the hairpin... But now that I've...
Why does Paimon have a sudden strong sense of déjà vu?
Would you really? I sent a commission to the Adventurers Guild, but I have...
Hold on. Don't run off looking for the hairpins just yet. Miss...
Huh?
Let me see.
That's right! Yanfei said she's a... True.
Right. I finished reading the contract. The terms are very clear, and they do indeed... Furthermore, the contract also expressly states that the amount of compensation must take current market prices into account. And given the rarity of Smaragdus jadeite, I fear that the final amount...
Even higher? Oh, no.
Uh-oh. Zhiqiao looks like...
However, all of this is assuming that it is indeed genuine Smaragdus jadeite that was inlaid into the hairpins.
Did you really have to pause before saying that part? Anyway, the hairpins are lost, so whichever way you look at it, we've got to start by finding those hairpins.
Except that if we found the hairpins, there'd no longer be any need to check whether the jadeite is genuine, would there?
Seems right.
Please. Please, Don't trouble yourselves over this. However much it is, I will have to pay it. My family are merchants, after all. It's vital that we keep our word and respect our Now that it's come to this, I really shouldn't keep Crossell in the dark any longer.
Yes, legally speaking, it seems this is the most sensible course of action. So hold on a moment, Miss Zhiqiao.
What did I feel? Well, I remember that the gemstone said my family has seen much jade pass through its hands in the past.
Smooth to the touch. No, it's nothing. I just need to re-examine a few things.
Miss Yanfei, you've returned. With Miss Jiqiao and... You lost them? Are you serious? Do you have
I'm sorry. Truly I am.
Mora? Do you have any I just don't... Forget it. Talking won't bring them back.
No problem. But before I can give an official estimate, it was in fact genuine Smaragdus.
Of course. Genuine article guaranteed, or I pay...
All right, understood. I'll conduct some market research, and once I'm back, I'll provide an official assessment of the...
Thank you very much. How could she lose?
Looks like I'll have to find some way to raise that money.
Please wait, Mr. Chow. I have some... It's not convenient to speak here, so let's...
I just like to make people smile.
Come and see this rare and precious curios.
Miss Yanfei, what is this about?
No. What I wanted to talk about is, there is a chance that the Orin laid on those hair...
What do you mean?
Obviously not. I'm no adventurer, let alone... I don't know if Granny told you this, but Smaragdus jadeite, if mere mortals come into contact with it, well, they'll be sick in the best case. And in the worst case, they could even experience a dramatic change of personality. Mr. Chow, did you at any time...
No, not at all. I felt perfectly...
Now that is strange. If I've deduced correctly, he may still have this...
If that's the case, we should go confront him right now and...
Absolutely not. If we were to confront him now, there's no... And then, he'd throw the Smaragdus jadeite into this... After that, he would simply insist that Mr. Chow pay up per the contract. Meanwhile, we would have to look under every stone in Liyue, hoping and praying...
So vivid that Paimon thinks it might be
Oh, it certainly is. I've seen my fair share of situations like this, and brute force methods are certainly one way...
Well then... Since you're so experienced in dealing with...
Oh, that won't be a problem. But first, Mr. Chow, can I ask you...
Huh? Does there have to be a contract for everything? Paimon... It feels like Yanfei is even more concerned with them than a certain someone else we know.
These are my formal terms of engagement. Everything prior to now has just been pro bono advice. Any work commissioned but not bound by a contract cannot be relied upon.
I understand. Then I will be...
No problem. Just sign here, and I'll sign too. Okay. And I'll also need your signatures on pages 5, 7, and on the very last page.
This contract has so many pages!
All right, that should do it. My fees are the same as always, and they're written in the contract. Have a look through and let me know if you have any questions.
I've had a read through. Everything checks out.
Well then, here's your copy of the contract. I will retain the other copy.
Now
Not for now, no. Despite how intractable this problem might sound, I don't believe you have been part of an investigation like this before.
Miss Yunfei, I have to ask.
Because, as it happens, I'm currently trying to acquire some Smaragdus Jadeite myself. I noticed strong traces of geoenergy around Mr. Whether he actually made it into an item of jewelry or not, also, the idea of someone abusing the... But again, let's not dwell on this. Let's go to... I've got it! Let's pay a visit to Chateau, the boss of the Jade Mystery. He's a professional when it comes to working with stone and ore. If Mr. Crossell had his ore worked on at all, Chateau would undoubtedly have been his first choice.
Why, hello there, honored customers. Surely not more spurious claims that my jade betting is rigged and...
No, nothing of the sort. Has a Snezhnyan merchant named Crossel enlisted your ore processing services recently by any chance?
A Snezhnyan merchant named... I do remember that. That was the first time I'd ever encountered it, so I had no way of telling if it was really Smaragdus jadeite or not. But if a customer insists, far be it from me to contradict them. He was quite generous with his money, too, so I didn't give it too much thought. I processed the ore as per his...
Do you...
why, yes!
Thank you, sir. Well...
Huh? If my eyes don't deceive me, the cross-sections and patterning suggest that these are Smaragdus neph... Yes, it's not particularly rare, nor is it especially valuable. It's used to make jewelry. I've heard it said that Smaragdus nephrite is in fact the outer layer of Smaragdus jadeite, though no one's ever...
A thin layer of separation.
If you must see for yourself, try examining these shapes.
Is that so? So, did you find anything? So they really are different.
There's nothing special to it. It just so happens that I've come across a great... These two stones actually look very similar. Someone without a deep understanding of... There may be only a subtle and, I'm sure, a significant difference in the cost of having them carved into shape.
All right, let's focus up. We're going off on a tangent.
But, never mind, Shirto. Why would Mr. Crossel...
Unusual actions have unusual reasons behind them. Let's take some...
Miss Yenfei?
If you could just confirm for me once more, sir. Mr. Crossel did indeed claim that the ore he brought to your...
Yes, that's right. I still have a record of the job with me, in fact. Here. It says quite clearly, 1 chunk Smaragdus jadeite, uncut.
Then I have no further questions. But could I borrow the processing record and the...
Of course.
Oh, I have my reasons. Ah, yes. This document shall serve as signed proof that these stone shavings originated from the, ore that Mr. Crossel brought to your store. Please read it carefully.
Yes, I see.
I wouldn't say there's been an incident. Just,
With this hard evidence to back us...
On the contrary, this is far from sufficient to build a case. We need to find... If you want to make jewelry, you need a professional jewelsmith. Let me think. Jewelry. Aha! Got it! Sinxi.
Well, that was quick.
Because lots of people come to me for legal advice. As you know, Liyue Harbor is the city of contract, but the amendments made by the Tianquan to our laws are unnecessarily complicated. As such, legal advisors like...
So you help them make sense?
Yes, well, that's... You sound surprised. Knowing the law inside... Oh, this has enough...
Again with that cat...
Well, that's that then.
The key here is consumer psychology.
Oh, Miss Yenfei, it's you. Has something happened?
Have no further trouble from then on? Yes, of course. I'm just here to... Has a merchant by the name of Crossel asked you to put him in contact with a jewelsmith?
Crossel? Yes, I remember him. He's a merchant. The design of the hairpins that he gave me was quite intricate, so it took me some work to find someone who was up to the job. This order was on hold for a very long time, and only completed quite recently.
Doesn't seem like there's any evidence to be found here.
Miss Sinxi, I'd like for you to confirm for me once more. When Mr. Crossel commissioned you to find him a jewelsmith, did he or did...
Yes, I'm sure of it. The hairpins were made using many expensive materials, and the asking price was quite high, so we had to put this transaction on record with the minister. Mr. Crossel wasn't very familiar with the necessary procedures. I also kept a copy for my own records. See, the inlaid gemstone is recorded as Smaragdus jadeite.
Thank you, Sinxi.
Sure, it isn't serving much purpose here anyway. I take it then that there...
Nothing you need to worry about. Just a minor issue. I'll return.
Why is everyone's first reaction always to assume someone or something isn't...
I believe we have almost all the evidence we need. We just...
The weirdo with the snake around his neck?
Because only he can provide an authoritative... Once we have this final piece...
My, to what do I owe the pleasure? Though I'm afraid that if you're looking for... And if it isn't Miss Yenfei as well, now that's an even rarer honor. What business?
No. I'm here this time to ask if you're...
Smaragdus Jadeite? Why, yes, there is some information. The 7 mountain treatises. It is abundant in... Anyway, I suppose...
That is indeed the case.
No trouble at all. But after I gave him my reply, his expression shifted to one... I wonder, Miss Yenfei, if...
You needn't concern yourself about that, Dr. Baizhu. Thank you for penning...
You're too kind.
That Baizhu guy is as weird as ever. Is it just Paimon, or does it feel like he was fishing for something back there?
Dr. Baiju's always been like that. Well, we have the evidence we need. Let's go find Mr. Crossell.
Miss Yanfei, have you finished your investigation?
Yes, my investigation is...
Wonderful. Well then, please, could...
Of course. Mr. Crossell, you must pay Mr. Chow 10 times...
Sure. Wait, what? Me pay her?
Not at all. According to my investigations and the material evidence that we've gathered, the substance claimed to be Smaragdus Jadeite that was inlaid within the Smaragdus Jadeite twin phoenix pins that you rented out to Mr. Chow was, in fact, Smaragdus Nephrite. Now, the contract states very clearly that 10 times the price shall be paid should the article not be genuine. Accordingly, you are liable for this sum, which is payable...
Material evidence? What material evidence? I spent a huge sum to obtain that Smaragdus Jadeite, and yet you claim that the ore inlaid...
Indeed. Only a testimony from an expert witness involved in the processing of the ore can serve as an authoritative assessment of what... This is a processing record from the Jade Mystery.
Seriously? Even the boss there couldn't differentiate between Smaragdus... In any case, Smaragdus Nephrite is the outer layer of Smaragdus Jadeite. So I had him cut away the Nephrite, he returned the valuable Jadeite core to me, and some
That's an unsubstantiated...
Well, your claim that my ore is fake is just as unsubstantiated. And we...
Ugh. Looks like our first piece of evidence didn't...
Hard evidence. Something legally binding. We have just the thing. Oh, come on. I meant the backup copy of the document from the
This document proves that my hairpins are the real deal, doesn't it?
Our second piece of evidence didn't work either.
You know, you could be right.
Of course I'm right. All the evidence shown...
Well, hang on a moment now, because Traveler, would you do the honors? Smaragdus Jadeite springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains and will bring disaster to... Sustained contact with Smaragdus Jadeite over a Mr. Crossell, were you aware of these... No idea, you say? I'm afraid that this falls outside the scope of my work. However, I'm sure that the ministry... Don't worry, Mr. Crossell. I will make sure that all the evidence presented here will be handed over to the ministry. trust that you'll give them your full cooperation.
What? Wait!
Oh, so you knew? Oh, dear Mr. Crossell.
Huh? No, I...
Aren't actually inlaid with genuine Smaragdus jadeite? You do understand, Mr. Crossell, that this... Mr. Crossell, your answer...
Yamp, he's seriously intimidating right now. It's like...
I admit it. I confess. The ore I had in... But I'm a victim in all of this, too. I invested, but after receiving it and carrying it around for a few days, I started to feel extreme discomfort. I went to Boo Boo Pharmacy to get myself checked out, only to discover that this sort of stone cannot be worn as jewelry. That's why I had another pair of hairpins made from Smaragdus nephrite, which is almost indistinguishable from Smaragdus. I kept the real Smaragdus jadeite in a specially made box. I was worried that someone would see through it, which is why I only dared to rent them out, not sell them. And
Exactly! If they weren't the real deal, why'd you make her pay so...
I didn't want to either, but when I purchased that Smaragdus jadeite, some of my business partners found out. If word got out that I sold a pair of fake...
All right, let's cut the appeals phase right there. I failed to see what Baron...
10 times.
Crossell looks like he could faint any second.
As for me, according to my contract with Mr. Chow, 20% of that sum will go to me.
20%? That's as much as I spent on that Smaragdus jadeite.
There's no need. It's fine. Even if the Smaragdus jadeite on those hairpins was fake, I still bear responsibility for losing them. Legally or not, I think I owe some compensation for that.
Ms. Jichao.
However, Mr. Crossell, since you have no use for that chunk of Smaragdus jadeite, why don't you give it to me instead? I'll consider us even.
What? But
Miss Yunfei, I'll turn this Smaragdus jadeite over to you.
Well, that's not quite how the rules say.
Thanks so much for your help this time, Miss Yunfei. When you have the time, I'll be sure to visit and express my...
Oh, come on. No need to stand on ceremony. Now... Well then, that's good. Mr. Crossell, it seems that my client has no...
Is that so?
Actually, Mr. Crossell, I could see from the hairpins you produce that you're very skilled in jewelry design. My family, on the other hand, works in the If we could join forces, your jewelry designs and...
Well, that's that. And we've got the Smaragdus Jadeite that Granny wants too. All's well that—
Exactly. Usually when someone tells us they've lost something, we end up searching all over. Even though the solution didn't...
The right solution depends on your perspective on the problem. The objective of my client, Mr. Chow, was to reduce her liability to pay compensation. So, rather than looking high and low for some hairpins, proving that the rented item was nowhere near worth what the vendor had claimed it to be was the more efficient solution. An Adeptus. Speaking of, you took part in that battle. Liyue Harbor is now a city ruled by humans. The title of Adeptus means precious little to me compared to my job as a legal advisor. In any case, don't you think that the Liyue Harbor of today needs legal consultancy far more than it needs adeptal power?
Paimon can think of someone who would definitely disagree with your reasoning.
Well, since we got what we came for, it's time to pay.
You've returned. How did it go? Good, good.
Well, if we're all set, Granny, I'll get going now. Got a ton of—
Oh, you. All right, then.
I'm off then. Bye! Oh, yes, Traveler. Make sure I've been looking into the laws of other nations as well.
Come now, child. Are you leaving or are you not? If you have no wish to leave, perhaps you'd like to help me clean my teapot, hmm?
I'm leaving! I'm leaving!
That child. Goodness knows where she learned. Indeed she is. Yanfei might be overly garrulous. Liyue is not all right then.
Oh, Paimon's so excited!
It is but a... There we go. Hold it firmly. If you were to drop it, take these blueprints with you as well. You'll need them if you wish to make your teapot a little more...
Wait a minute, Granny! How exactly...
Oh, you needn't worry about that.
Personal safety.
Wow! This teapot, huh? But there's just a whole load of nothing around it. Paimon can't do that! Still, what? Oh, wait a second.
Well, it seems that we...
It's a huge finch!
Excuse me, I am not... hang on a moment. Oh, call me. I suppose you may call me...
So you're the little...
Madam Ping? Oh, you must mean Ping. You may leave all matter. Your journey may be far from over, though it is thus you may consider me. Now allow me. Have you any blueprints on you? Specifically, blueprints with beautiful room. As long as you have a blueprint, you can.
Blueprints? Oh, that's right!
Yes, these are the blueprints. Just commit the image of the then simply
Wow! Is that all it takes? Then we could build a whole
I doubt it. A golden-eyed adept, he said that even though subspace, this world is not a true one after all. It provides merely a
golden-eyed adeptus?
I hardly remember myself. What's more, well, let's not dwell on that. If there's anything you would like...
Well, hello. I didn't expect to see you. Oh, I feel quite at home. Although, I feel that at home doesn't express my feel. Surprised is more how... Exactly. It's more beautiful than I... It's been a while since...
Traveler, please, over here. It has been a while since you joined the Adventurers Guild. Are your adventures going smoothly? Is that so? Another person to count on is always good at...
Yep, and it's even harder to get...
Ah, yes. I do Let me consult our records. Ah, there...
Blonde. Dresses off... Wait! Do you mean... Does that stranger's face look anything...
Like the honorary knights? No, they couldn't look more different. This
Seriously? How does this have any—
That stranger declined the guild's invitation, so I can't say that I know anything about the relationship between him and— Nonetheless, you can look for him if you're interested. After all, it is— And should the stranger be a strong adventurer indeed, he would certainly be a big help on your journey.